Hi everyone. Today, still an overcast, kind of cloudy day, but it's not raining and it's not terribly hot yet, so we're gonna get some work done. I'm feeling better today too. I feel like I have my strength back from being sick for the last few days. So I'm gonna start putting some soil in this bed right back here. Help cover the roots of those irises a little bit more, and then hopefully plant some more things throughout the year. Coco, get out of there. Okay, so I only had 2 bags of soil here today. Maybe I'll get more eventually because I would like to put some on this side. Where that thing is right under a gutter. So I think we'll put like a rain barrel there and then go around it. So I only was able to go about from this corner of the shed to the other side. And obviously it'll need more soil added over time, but the irises look better. It'll help feed them with nutrients and stuff like that. They're buried more. They're not completely buried, as you can see, but they're better off. I'm happy with it. And then I'll be able to add some more stuff throughout the year or years. And then this side still needs to be worked on. Probably need to hand till this area up, but I think on this side I want to do maybe 3 or 4 rose bushes. I think that would be pretty, but we'll see over time. I might change my mind. I probably will change my mind, but as of right now, we got this side taken care of, which needed it the most because of the irises and their exposed roots, not necessarily the tubers, but the roots. And then we'll slowly add over time. Now I'm over here in the big garden. Show you what I have planted. In this soil patch, I have just like cold crops, lettuce, carrots, collards, beets, radishes, that kind of thing. Then right here I have some onions. Back here, these little plants, I got 6 little cabbage plants here. They're doing really good. And then along this fence line, there's several varieties of green beans. And in this corner, I planted a loofah gourd, so it can grow up this fence, and then it can grow up this trellis and just kind of take over this whole area. And then there's some garlic sporadically in there. It got eaten down. Right in this blank patch up to the green beans over there. I have right in here okra. Yeah. All right, here's another loofah. It's struggling a little bit. I had a tiny helper that might have messed it up, but it's okay. Green beans. Then over here I planted some, right in here, some seeds, some bush cucumbers, some yellow squash. Along this fence line I planted some pole beans and then some cucumbers with some weeds. And then in this back area along here I planted some pumpkins and some winter squash, and they'll be able to take over this whole area, and they can even go out the fence and explore back there, even though they might get munched on by the sheep or squirrels or rabbits. But it's just experimenting and trying to give them as much space as possible. And then all the weeds still need to come out. But then on this arch trellis I planted, they are called Tromboncino. They're a summer squash, so you can harvest them young and they'll eat like a zucchini, or you can let them mature on the vine and then they'll be like a winter squash. So we'll be able to store them and eat them throughout the winter hopefully, or have them for zucchini and they'll just grow up and over that.
Show me touch the egg.
What'd you find, Titus?
Egg.
You found an egg? No way.
What?
That's so cool. You did a good job with your ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah. UPS is here. Fence supplies are here. More projects are here. Go us. That's our ram. Sometimes he acts just like a big old puppy dog. Other times, I guess he acts like a ram. I don't know. He's always doing this to us. Losing his hair. They are hair sheep. They're the Katahdins. So he will lose that, and he is losing it. He doesn't like it being pulled out, but you can see where he walks, because if he walks too close to trees and stuff, it's rubbed off and he just leaves a white trail. Here I got tomatoes and pepper plants sitting out, just getting used. It's kind of a cloudy day, but they're in the shade, so I think they'll be okay. In this pot, there was herbs, small ones that I started from seed, but it looks like the chickens got in here and used it as a dust bath. More tomato plants. In this pot, I have some elephant ears, and everything is still gonna be rearranged back here. Here I have some corkscrew willow cuttings rooting in. We'll probably put those around the property somewhere. I have 3 pots with some onions and nasturtiums, and then I have the big corkscrew willow growing over this trellis with my wind chime. And that's where I got the cuttings from. And then in this IBC tote, we plan to have ducks up here. We plan to have ducks up in this front area, and I'll show you the rest of it in just a second. That's why we have this IBC tote as their shelter for the winter. But on top of the IBC tote, I lined it with some landscape fabric. There's a weed. And then just for now, I planted, looks like a mint, oregano, thyme, and then there's a creeping phlox over there. Obviously it's like shallow rooted, So these probably won't be able to last in here for very long, but I think for now, it's a fun little experiment, and I think it'll be really pretty once it starts to heat up and these heat-loving plants really take off and like fully make like a herb carpet up there. So then you come behind the IBC tote, this is the corner with the phlox and the oregano. Come around here, I tried to make a little walk path where the stone is so I don't plant anything. There's some small little irises right along here. Some daffodils over here. And then back over here, there's a clematis and there's a couple lilies that'll come up in here. This area has some cold crops, carrots, lettuce, cilantro, onions. There's a couple small hostas down there. And then along this way, we have some strawberries that I transplanted this year. Then along here, I have my bags of potatoes that are all experimental. I don't know how they're gonna do. We'll see. And then along here, I haven't done much of anything. I have a goose sitting under there. Some straw. And then along here, there has some stuff. There's some daffodils, some lilies. They look pretty sad. We used to have goats and they ate them down. There's some tiny pots of comfrey that have looked better. And there's a blueberry. There's a peony. Some more lilies, some onions. Then another walk path that can be used as once we move the grill. Some more onions, some more daffodils, maybe hyacinths. I know I had a few of those in here. This bed had some cold crops, radishes, carrots. It looked good a few days ago until the chickens got in here and ate everything down. Hopefully it'll grow back. Have a couple more strawberry plants, a rhubarb, another creeping phlox, and a couple more lilies right along there. And then I made 2 decent strips because our soil's not the greatest, so I made beds in the straw and the manure, and I laid a bag of garden soil down and I put onions in that, so I have 2 of those right here as well. And then this area is mostly for perennials. I have a couple little pots of comfrey that I think I'm gonna stick up here and see how they do. I think they'll get plenty of sun. I actually think they'll be fine, but they need to get out of those pots, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then I have some echinacea that I started from seed over there and some asparagus that I need to get planted as well. I'm also putting a fertilizer in the hole before I put the plant in. This is, it's called Plant Tone by Espoma. It's organic fertilizer. All the plants that I've used this on so far have been doing great, so I really like it. And they were in like compostable pots, but I always take it off because I don't think they work. So I take those off. Now let's get the second one planted. in this area. I have my, up there, my asparagus and echinacea that I'm going to get planted right along here. I'm going to do the same thing, dig a hole, put some fertilizer, and then we'll water them after we get them all done. Now these echinaceas are small, but they need to get out of this thing, so we're going to give them the best shot they can right here in the ground where they'll stay for years and years. So I did get the asparagus and some echinacea planted, And some more echinacea over here planted. And I think that's it for today. We took a break for lunch, roasted some hot dogs on the fire. I think later this evening we might do some s'mores, but my garden work for today I think is done, and we're just gonna enjoy the nice cool weather. Yeah, it does look like it's gonna rain, but it feels good outside, and hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.